again, this is Ben Hitchcock Cross talking to you today about the Milwaukee Public School Board's secret investigation of Keith Posley using Matt Chasen, Jacqueline Mann, Bulow Vetter, and Miriam Horowitz, former city attorney. But all of these things were kept in secret from all of us. So we've learned here from the Matt Chasen deposition, I think that's part two, and that's come out, I think, in other sources, including the documents related to Chasen and Furman conspiring to oust Posley. You'll remember that the board met in secret after Calvin Furman complained to Matt Chasen about Keith Posley, Superintendent Keith Posley's fraternization with Marla Brunat. So when he brought that to the board met about that in secret. That's legitimate under the law to meet to discuss personal matters, and this is personal in this case, and personnel, both sort of simultaneously there, that they are allowed to at least discuss the embarrassing part in secret, okay? And they're also allowed to discuss information about employee evaluations, things like that, be pre-investigation. The actual fruits of the investigation are supposed to be public and made clear to everybody else. And the fact that they're going to investigate or authorize money to investigate or hire an attorney, all of those things must be conducted in public. All those votes must be conducted in public. The wording doesn't have to be that precise. They don't have to say we vote to hire an attorney to investigate Keith Posley, but they do have to actually have a vote to do that. And if they're going to take some kind of action to investigate Keith Posley, they need to have some kind of public vote to do that. The key thing here is the board cannot do anything in closed session. It can take in information in closed session. It can discuss things amongst each other in closed session, but it can take no action in closed session. So because in order for an action to happen, there needs to be a vote, and votes can't happen in closed session. The only exceptions to the public meetings law is to discuss certain things. So that's the key thing here. When you look at the Chasen 2 deposition, it's very clear that the board met in secret and authorized Matt Chasen and Jackie Mann to go and discuss with Bulow Vetter's Dan Vliet the accusations of Calvin Furman, who, by the way, is about to join Dan Vliet at Bulow Vetter within weeks from that period of time, on what to do and how to investigate Keith Posley. And so then again, what ends up happening is they end up hiring Miriam Horowitz, who does an investigation that we still don't have the fruits of, that she gives to the board, and the board does not tell the public or record any of its votes to make any of those expenditures or decisions, or to take in any of that information. So we don't know as the public what they did. We don't know what the decision or outcome of any of those things were. They have kept those from us, and it's clear to me that they didn't follow the public records, public meetings law when they did that, because none of those actions were taken in public. However, let's say the sidelined, or there's no mention of it whatsoever. And I think that's the key point there. They need to come out and vote and do something, let alone what are they doing, not telling us about this major accusation against Keith Posley. We know that then Keith Posley tried to get Marla Brunat, let's say, a very high-paying job, extraordinarily high-paying job as the director of remote work, whatever that means. We also know that the school board met in secret and then came out and cut that salary position down substantially, but nevertheless, or at least said that they did. We haven't seen any vote or any documentation that has that. So if the school board's got that, that sure would be good to see. because right now the conception here is that you've said it, but you haven't done it. So then we also see here that the fruits of that labor are the underwhelming um, remote work policy that then the board goes and votes for. And I think that's really one of the key messages here about this whole story is that the board gets what they want, and they decided to have incompetence. They decided to allow somebody that they knew was being accused of fraternization. They knew they've got this evidence. They have reviewed the evidence in secret. They didn't give it to the public, and still now, I mean, we still don't have, even after we're going through, court, we still don't have the documents there that show exactly what they did. So that could be because they did nothing. I mean, that's very likely. So I think we need to keep all that in mind when we look at these documents here and when we see what Mr. Chasen says. Why are the board making these decisions in secret? And then also we see what the effect is when these decisions are made in secret. We get underwhelming remote work policies that then the people who voted to keep everything in secret have to vote for anyway. And the best they can do is get a promise down the road for maybe some explanation or something like that. So, they have created this situation, unfortunately. And I wish we could say, they've only got themselves to blame. Oh, too bad. But, what about all the remote work employees? What about MPS? What about the pupils? What about the city of Milwaukee? So thank you very much, Bob Peterson School Board. Your failures and ineptitude to solve this problem have only come to bite everybody in the butt. So stick with us. We'll keep you informed.